Welcome to the Bare Metal Cyber CCISO Prepcast. This series helps you prepare for the exam with focused explanations and practical context. Mobile device security is a critical concern in modern enterprise environments, where smartphones, tablets, and laptops serve as everyday tools for accessing corporate data, applications, and cloud services. The portability and versatility of these devices make them convenient but also introduce new security challenges. Mobile endpoints are often used in untrusted environments, over unsecured networks, and outside traditional perimeter defenses. This opens the door to threats such as data leakage, malware infection, physical loss, and unauthorized access. Attackers exploit vulnerabilities in mobile operating systems, poorly secured apps, and user behavior. Compliance frameworks, including HIPAA, ISO 27-1, and PCI DSS, now require mobile devices to be included in organizational security programs. The expanding use of mobile endpoints increases the attack surface, and the CISO must ensure that adequate controls are in place to protect corporate data and maintain compliance wherever users work. The CISO is responsible for establishing and overseeing a comprehensive mobile security strategy. This includes defining acceptable use policies, selecting appropriate security platforms, and ensuring that the strategy balances protection with user productivity. Governance documents must outline how mobile devices can be used, what risks must be mitigated, and how enforcement will be handled. Mobile technologies such as mobile device management, or MDM, and unified endpoint management, or UEM, must be evaluated and deployed in alignment with enterprise risk and compliance objectives. The CISO also coordinates with HR to address onboarding and offboarding requirements, with legal to ensure privacy obligations are met, and with IT to support technical implementation and monitoring. Executive reporting on mobile security risk must be regular, actionable, and tied to business goals such as remote work enablement, regulatory compliance, and incident avoidance. Bring your own device, or BYOD policies, provide flexibility for employees and contractors, but introduce challenges around control, privacy, and visibility. Because the organization does not own personal devices, enforcing security controls without infringing on privacy requires clear policy development and legal review. Users must acknowledge BYOD policies that describe data handling expectations, acceptable use, and the consequences of non-compliance. Corporate data should be separated from personal data using containerization or app-based segmentation. These techniques prevent unauthorized mixing of business and personal information, and support secure wipe capabilities when users leave the organization. Monitoring and policy enforcement must focus only on corporate applications and data, avoiding intrusion into personal content. The CISO ensures that BYOD risks are assessed, controls are clearly communicated, and exit procedures include data removal and account revocation. MDM and UEM platforms provide the centralized tools needed to enforce mobile security policies. These platforms support the remote administration of mobile devices, allowing security teams to configure settings, push updates, and monitor compliance. Encryption enforcement, password strength requirements, and screen lock settings can be applied uniformly. Remote wipe and lock capabilities allow organizations to respond quickly to lost or stolen devices. App whitelisting, blacklisting, and installation restrictions limit exposure to malicious or unapproved software. Device inventory reports provide visibility into the status and compliance of all enrolled devices. Integration with identity and access management platforms ensures that mobile access is tied to user roles, risk level, and authentication status. The CISO must oversee the selection, configuration, and auditing of these platforms to ensure that mobile device coverage is complete and effective. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other podcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. Mobile security also requires protections at the application and operating system levels. Organizations must ensure that only authorized, updated, and verified apps are allowed to run on corporate devices. App wrapping or secure containers help isolate business applications from the broader system, adding control over data movement, configuration, and lifecycle. Devices that are jailbroken or rooted should be automatically blocked from accessing enterprise resources due to elevated risk. Operating system updates must be required as part of compliance enforcement. Devices running outdated or unsupported versions must be restricted from access. Mobile security platforms should monitor for side-loaded apps, privilege escalation, or misuse of device features. The CISO must ensure that OS and app controls are regularly reviewed, and that the organization is protected against software-based threats introduced through mobile platforms. Wireless and network security is particularly important for mobile devices, which frequently connect to untrusted networks. VPN usage should be enforced for all connections made over public or unverified Wi-Fi networks. Devices should automatically disconnect from insecure networks or restrict traffic until a secure tunnel is established. Network communication must use encrypted protocols such as HTTPS TLS and IPsec to protect data in transit. Mobile security platforms should monitor device behavior and flag risky access patterns, such as connections from unknown locations or unusual times. Features such as Bluetooth, NFC, and ad hoc wireless should be disabled by policy unless explicitly required. These controls help reduce attack surface and limit exposure to man-in-the-middle attacks or network-based exploitation. The CISO ensures that wireless access is protected with technical safeguards and user education. Data protection on mobile devices requires a combination of encryption, policy enforcement, and monitoring. Full-degree encryption must be enabled and enforced by MDM or UEM platforms. Data in transit should be secured using VPNs and encrypted communication channels. Backup policies must ensure that mobile data is stored securely, encrypted at rest, and recoverable only by authorized parties. Retention and deletion policies should apply to mobile storage as well, preventing unnecessary exposure through outdated or abandoned files. DLP controls should be extended to mobile endpoints, restricting data copy/paste, document sharing, or screen capture within sensitive applications. These controls support compliance with data protection regulations and ensure that corporate data is not leaked through user devices. The CISO is responsible for ensuring that data security policies are enforced consistently across all mobile endpoints and that violations are addressed quickly. Mobile threat detection and response capabilities are necessary for identifying compromised devices and preventing further damage. Behavioral monitoring can detect anomalies such as excessive data use, unexpected application behavior, or access from suspicious locations. Integration with SIEM or EDR/XDR tools allows threat data to be correlated with broader enterprise activity. Compromised or non-compliant devices should be quarantined automatically or blocked from accessing enterprise resources. Notifications should be sent to users with instructions for remediation or appeal. Incident metrics such as the number of mobile alerts, mean time to detect, and remediation success rate should be tracked and reported. These metrics support executive visibility and drive improvements in mobile risk management. The CISO ensures that mobile detection systems are configured, tested, and included in the overall incident response strategy. Mobile policies must align with compliance frameworks and enterprise governance. Acceptable use, mobile access, and data protection policies must be documented, approved, and enforced. Standards such as ISO 271 NIST, HIPAA, and GDPR include requirements for protecting mobile devices and the data they handle. Employees must formally acknowledge mobile use policies and understand their responsibilities. Legal considerations may apply when handling personal devices or cross-border data movement. Organizations must ensure that mobile devices used by third-party vendors also comply with the same controls, and that assessments include mobile environments as part of the vendor security review process. The CISO is accountable for ensuring that mobile policies are reviewed periodically, tested in audits, and kept current with evolving regulatory expectations and technical requirements. The CCO exam includes mobile security concepts in both knowledge and scenario-based questions. Key terminology includes MDM, UEM, containerization, BYOD, and remote wipe. Candidates may be asked to analyze policy enforcement options, respond to a lost device incident, or manage a non-compliant endpoint in a BYOD context. Understanding how mobile security integrates with access control, threat detection, compliance, and user experience is essential. The CISO's role in governing mobile risk, selecting the right technologies, enforcing acceptable use, and reporting on mobile posture must be clear. Balancing security assurance with user productivity is a critical theme in mobile security leadership. Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Bare Metal CISO Prepcast. For more episodes, tools, and study support, visit us at baremetalcyber.com